10% of the surface of our planet is covered in ice. It's a harsh and merciless element, and those who attempt to uncover the mysteries hidden within it still find it difficult to do so. What if, however, we informed you that several discoveries have been made in the ice that we are utterly unable to explain? Welcome back to Ancient History. We'll examine the 10 most amazing discoveries that researchers found frozen in ice in today's video. Number 10. Ancient viruses. A group of climatologists and microbiologists visited the Tibetan Plateau's frozen wilderness in 2015 in quest of some old ice. They were interested in exploring what insights the ice could offer about the ecosystem from thousands of years ago, and had devised a new method of researching it. The researchers excavated a core that was more than 1,000 feet deep at the pinnacle of the Guliya ice cap, 22,000 feet above sea level. They discovered viruses within that had been preserved in ice for 15,000 years. The genetic material from 33 different types of viruses, 28 of which were brand new to science, was found in that one ice core. Number 9. The old seeds. What are the oldest seeds? While preparing for hibernation some 32,000 years ago, an ancient squirrel amassed a horde of Siberian Silene stenophylla seeds. The squirrel's entire burrow was then covered in snow, and for thousands of years it was completely enclosed in ice. The researchers sought to explore if they could grow plants from 32,000-year-old seeds after discovering that some of them still contained living plant components when researching the frozen seeds. Remember that at the time, the oldest plant material that had been successfully revived was just 2,000 years old. Nevertheless, they were able to revive an ancient variety of Silene stenophylla that resembled the present plant, with the exception of the flower's shape. Number 8. Yucca the mammoth. Not only has ice proven excellent at maintaining viruses and plant life, but also mammals. The woolly mammoth is the extinct creature receiving the most attention right now, as there's a strong push among scientists to use remains discovered frozen in ice to bring them back to life. Only a few thousand years ago did mammoths go extinct, but since then we found numerous remains that have been preserved in ice. Best preserved mammoth honor belongs to Yucca, a youngster discovered by Siberian hunters in 2010. The age was initially determined to be 39,000 years old, but after additional testing, it was somewhat reduced to 28,000 years old. Yucca had been murdered by prehistoric hunters, who also removed some of the bones and the majority of the internal organs. They then preserved the remainder of the carcass and, probably with the intention of later retrieving it, buried it. Do you want to learn about other amazing things? Then you're covered by us. If you haven't already, please click that bell icon and subscribe to us before continuing. No information should be missed by the viewers of Ancient History. Number 7. The remnants of a war. There were two armies engaged in a unique fight during the First World War that was unlike any other. High in the Alps, primarily on the frozen glaciers of the Dolomite Mountains, the Italians and Austrians were engaged in battle in what came to be known as the White War. The soldiers frequently excavated tunnels in the ice. Under Marmolada Glacier, the Austrian Corps of Engineers even created a complete base with numerous barracks and tunnels. Only salvagers continued to take the risk of traveling out there, although their main focus was on scrap metal rather than artifacts or records. However, as the glaciers started to recede, they gradually uncovered everything once more, allowing people to view a conflict that had been frozen in time for a century. In addition to dead, they also found weapons, supplies, food, letters, and photographs. The well-preserved frozen bones of two young Austrian soldiers with head wounds were especially startling. They were both teens with blonde hair and blue eyes. Number 6. The solution to a mystery. Sometimes new information found in the ice might shed light on long-standing mysteries, such as the puzzling case of Marcelin and Francine Dumoulin, who vanished almost 80 years ago without a trace. The Swiss couple left their home on foot on August 15th of 1942, and they never came back. Local legends hold that the two, who may have been on their way to burn, went out to milk their cows. In any case, despite search teams going out for months after the disappearance, nobody knew exactly what happened to them. When a ski resort employee discovered their mummified corpse buried in ice in 2017, the mystery was finally cleared up. Over 8,500 feet above sea level, on the San Floron Glacier, the bodies were discovered. They seemed like they had been on the ice for a very long period since they were dressed in World War II-era clothing. DNA tests later revealed that they were the Dumoulins. The most plausible explanation is that the pair, who had been married, had fallen into a fissure, which had served as their freezing grave for many years. The glacier eventually retreated as a result of climate change, bringing their bodies to the surface. Number 5. Treasure. Even though everyone has heard about buried treasure, we rarely anticipate to find it covered in ice thousands of feet above sea level. And yet, that is precisely what occurred in 2013 when a French mountain climber was traversing the Bosson Glacier on his route to the top of Mont Blanc, when he came across a mysterious metal box sticking out of the ice. He discovered emeralds, rubies, and sapphires worth about 250,000 euros within the box, which had lain dormant for almost 50 years. The place is notorious for being the site of not one, but two distinct Air India flight disasters that claimed 165 lives, the first in 1950 and the second in 1966. The latter was a huge passenger flight of Boeing 707 that slammed into the mountain, scattering debris everywhere. Number 4. The Wolf Pup Mummy. Niall Lovelace was using a water cannon to try and destroy a wall that was embedded in permafrost. He was hoping to discover some undiscovered treasure or riches inside, but instead, he noticed something strange melting out of the ice. It was the mummy of a 57,000-year-old wolf pup. The frozen puppy's lifeless body is thought to be the oldest and most complete wolf body ever discovered. Number 3. Meteorites from Mars. On December 27, 1984, a group of American meteorite hunters found a piece of Martian meteorite in the Allen Hills of Antarctica. Although it was reportedly believed that Allen Hills 84001 originated on Mars, it was technically distinct from its Mars-born brethren in terms of mass. After thorough investigation, a scientist asserted in 1996 that microscopic bacteria fossils found on the meteorite proved that there was bacterial life on Mars. The news soon went viral and attracted interest on a global scale. Number 2. McInlay Whiskey. The crates, which had a total of 11 bottles of Scotch whiskey, were discovered in the cabin of the adventurer Ernest Shackleton. To safeguard the bottles, they were carefully wrapped in paper and straw. Undoubtedly, Shackleton's 1907 expedition to Antarctica was difficult. Obviously frozen because of the intense cold, the liquid within the bottles could still be heard sputtering after the bottles were brought to normal temperature. Since the findings are historically significant, they're obviously stored in a safe, but a sample was supplied to the Scottish distillers White and Mackey. And at number 1, Otzi the Iceman. Otzi was an ice mummy of a man who lived more than 5,300 years ago, during the Copper Age, and was found in the Alps of the Thal by 2 German tourists in 1991. Scientists found Otzi together with all of his belongings, including his clothes, his equipment, and his weapons. His finest possession was a magnificent axe made of 99.7% pure copper, which was extremely costly and rare in his day. Otzi had undergone extensive study in the 30 years since his discovery, yet his mummy continues to teach us new things about him and the Copper Age populace. That's it for today, everyone. If you want to see more amazing discoveries made by scientists preserved in ice, then stay up to date on the most astonishing findings and subscribe to our channel, Ancient History.